My name is Bruce Kisslingler, Senior. There's now a junior in the picture. I've been here, I suppose on the 19th of this month, July, would be 50 years.
Wow, Bruce, 50 years.
So I think Senior's the kind of guy that will never retire. I would like to give him a shout out and a congratulations. 50 years at a company is pretty impressive.
The man is just amazing. He plows your driveway, mows the grass, cleans the pools, watches other people's houses for them, takes trees off the road when they fall. He's always there to lend you tools or give you advice. Sometimes you don't need it, but he's there.
What we do today and who we are today is because of him.
Establishing the culture here at Cambridge of the caring side and being able to serve people, doing the birthday breakfast, stuff like that.
What Bruce didn't know in life, he always figured out. If he needed an answer, he got it. And I don't know whether he studied on the side, he went out and talked to people or whatever, but he took over manufacturing and really did a good job. The guys bought into him. He had them working as a team and accepted that challenge, and we did quite well.
First of all, you're a serviceman. You were a sailor, and I'm very appreciative of the service people of our country. You helped protect us, protect our allies, and you did that with a purpose.
You know, he's done a great job at transitioning from being a Navy man to working with his hands and being an electrician to leading people, and that's just been really, really fun to watch and be part of that journey.
Whenever times would change, I think Bruce was the type of guy that John's dad, when Jack was running the company, Bruce was kind of that steady person that he always had here, that he could rely on Bruce to either get the job done, or Bruce had the ability to rally everybody here to get it done.
I'd like to begin by talking about Bruce and how I met him and how I found him, so to speak. It all started back in the early 70s. I sold an account called Tomboy Food Stores. They had a warehouse downtown, and I called on them and finally got the job. It's the biggest job we ever had. And I sold it to the guy that ran the maintenance in the facilities. His name was George Kisslingler, and that was Bruce's dad. And George and I got along real well, and I sold him the system. And when it was all installed, he said, "We'll send somebody to start it up and help us with to explain the operation." I said, "Well, that's me. When would you like to do it?" And he said, "It can't be you." He had a way, like Bruce, of saying things. So I showed up and I started up the system, and it was not a real good startup like you get today, but I got him running, I guess. And George looked at me and he realized I had struggled, because in those days you wore a suit and tie when you went out selling, and I showed up in my khakis and a t-shirt or something, and now I was in service. So he said, "If you're looking for a serviceman," which you probably ought to be thinking about after he saw me working, he said, "I've got a son who's graduating from the naval. He was a electrician in the Navy, and he'll be looking for a job." And I said, "Sure, I'll talk to him." So he introduced me to his son eventually, and I was impressed by Bruce, so I hired him. We moved from Westport Industrial Park. We had a small 20,000 foot plant there to our new plant here in Chesterfield, 50,000 feet. And we were kind of stretching ourselves financially, so Bruce agreed that we had to keep production running in Westport up to the last day, because we had to keep shipping. And we moved in here, we had to keep shipping, so he had that job of, let's winded down here and started up in Chesterfield. But he also took on the responsibility of ran all the electric lines and all the air lines, and wired all the equipment while they're keeping production going. And I couldn't figure out how he did it all, and I just was amazed.
When my dad got his job a long time ago, he would tell me and my sister that his main role here was to fill the salt and pepper shakers, and that was his responsibility.
When Bruce tells you, here's what I'm thinking, it really means here's what we're gonna do.
You know, the one thing that you had taught me was, you know, whatever you borrow, bring it back in better shape than when you took it.
You know, if you think you're gonna have a crappy day, then you are gonna have a crappy day.
If Bruce ever sends you out for potatoes, politely say no thanks.
The thing I remember most is his mentoring me on how to treat employees, how to just take care of employees, and his ability to do that has always been massive to me and something that I could not ever live up to. But he really believes in taking care of and just being there.
He'll tell you how it is, that's for sure. And if you're talking to him too much, then he'll say, all right, and then you got to get out of there and go back to work.
And the one piece of advice that you gave me was periodically let her pick the restaurant that you're going to go to. So the first marriage didn't work out, so I'm not sure if that was great advice or not.
He scared the hell out of me is what he did.
So when you first met Bruce, he was, I guess you didn't know how to take him. He was kind of intimidating. If you didn't know him, once you got to know him, the dry sense of humor, I mean, he would, I don't want to say scowl at you, but yet then he'd turn around and he'd start laughing and pat you on the back. So he was kind of very, when you first start here and you don't know him, it was kind of intimidating, and now you just kind of shrug it off and you don't even hardly pay attention to him anymore. But
he had a sense of humor, but you didn't know when he was joking or not.
My first thought was, this guy has short man syndrome. You know, the bossiness, the shouting demands, just the general crabbiness. I thought he's compensating for something.
After my junior or senior year in high school, I came out here and worked out in the plant. And Bruce was officially my boss. And he scared the heck out of me, because one day I was working for several weeks, he pulled me in the office and shut the door and sat down at his big desk and sat me down on a really low chair and just stared at me and was quiet. It's like, did I do something wrong? Was I in trouble? Well, he wanted to talk to me about quality and the importance of doing a job well and quality. And then after his long speech, he gave me a baseball cap, put it on and said, quality ace, and a little ace of spades. So that was my first meeting with Bruce. I thought I was going to go home and had to tell my father I was fired.
On my first few days working at Cambridge about 10 years ago, I became a member of a prestigious group called Bruce's staff. Bruce immediately took me under his wing in this father figure role and showed me all the culture ropes. I became his partner in crime when it came to bringing all his crazy ideas to reality, and that I will miss and enjoyed the most.
To figure him out is to know he's always got the sense of humor going. He messes with people a lot. He jokes with them a lot, but he is a good-hearted, always having fun guy. So that took a little time, but once you figure that out, what a great guy.
I mean, he's done a lot of crazy things over the years, and I really enjoy the crazy stuff too, the fun crap awards and all that kind of stuff. I just think it's been great, and it brings humor into the workplace.
Yeah, the crap awards were pretty special.
if you ever did anything here that were kind of embarrassing, the one thing you never wanted to do was let Bruce find out.
And the thing that I most love about Bruce is his storytelling ability, his ability to take any event and make it a story and make it something that we all enjoy just listening to and having fun with.
Thanks. So we talked about these skits that he always used to do. So that kind of stuff, Bruce he just had a knack of remembering and coming up with just the right amount of comedy and just it was kind of special to have somebody at your company that can do that.
People were pretty willing to take part in his, whatever you want to call all that stuff. So if Senior had a wacky idea, he could always find volunteers to get on board with that stuff.
The people that have been here for a long time, we go down to Arkansas to Norfolk Lake and rent boats, and probably the best part is the food, because he's kind of a food snob, if everybody knows that. You drive the boat, you run the trolling motor, and he sits in the back and fishes.
On our fishing trips, Bruce is always in charge of the meals. He does all of the cooking. We're in charge of making his drinks. We make sure we put him to bed by 9.
My dad's kind of a food snob, so everywhere we go, nothing's acceptable. Father's Day rolled around, he actually handed me a cookbook and said, I'm tired of eating the same crap. Come on, let's make something new here.
Like every year at Christmas, he wants to do something bigger and better than we've done before. And he keeps bringing new foods into that. So that's always a challenge that he challenges himself with, but then somehow it becomes our challenge to keep it going. He definitely likes to try something new and then delegate it right off to somebody else. But
not afraid to try different recipes, whether it's painful for anyone or not. Set smoke detectors off, if you want to sear in a cast iron pan or anything like that, that's happened before. But
so one of the cool things about Cambridge and my dad is that he brings his kitchen into Cambridge, brings his Weber's into Cambridge, just does all kinds of cooking here for the folks here, and it's pretty awesome to see that happen. So he can't complain anymore, is the bottom line. So when I was 12, my dad and I came down here. It was a hot July afternoon, and they said this place was going to flood. So we came in here, checked everything out because he was in charge of the facility, and we moved everything up on top of his desk. I can just remember him leaving, said, yeah, the Corps of Engineers said it's only going to get up to 4 feet. We grabbed this briefcase and we got out of here. And then that night, I think the levee broke and flooded this whole entire place.
But when I look at Bruce, he was there during the hard years and the good years. When we were in the flood in 1993, I remember being on the boat with him and getting parts out of the plant, bringing them in and setting up temporary operations.
I remember doing the book club at the time was The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and I remember doing that with him. It was enjoyable and fun, and he just made learning different than I had ever done it before because it was fun.
Fond memories, Senior. I like our book club. It's fun. There's great camaraderie, and you bring it out in people. It's just your nature. You push people, and you stretch us. And I'm talking to myself too. And so I thank you for that.
One of the 7 habits is to begin with the end in mind. This guy's in a funeral home, and he's sitting with all the rest of the folks, and the deceased is up there, and he's listening to what the people are saying about the guy in the coffin. And then when he gets a look, it's him. So the point of all that is he's listening to what they've got to say about that guy. Well, what you want them to say about you, when you're in the coffin, is not the time to be making yourself look like that.
Bruce, I started here as a child, basically 17 years old, and you, not to be cliche, were my second dad. You took me under your wing. I've grown into who I am, I think, largely because of what you've done and how you've helped me. And now you're one of my best friends, and I think it's great. And I wish you all the best. I know you're a guy that has got it figured out, so I know you're going to be fine. All I ask is that you still come back and visit us, which I have a feeling you will, because I'm guessing Junior is still going to have you run all his errands, so we'll see you back here in the office from time to time. But this is great. Wish you well, and good luck.
Well, Bruce, I wish you the best in anything that you decide to do in the next chapter of your life, and I hope that you'll continue to show up here on random days and keep us smiling and continue to be part of the culture at Cambridge.
Bruce, I just want to wish you well. Special blessings to you on this next step in your life. Don't be a stranger.
You're always a person I would lend an ear, kind of a mentor. So I wish you the best, you and Marlene, with all your grandkids, and God help you with Bruce Jr. and I don't know where that's going to go for you, but or as you would call him, Lenny. We'll just leave it at that. You'll get it. Marlene will get it. I sincerely wish you the best, and Sandy does too. So enjoy your retirement, travel, do whatever you want to do, and have fun. So appreciate the time.
It's definitely been a great pleasure to work with you. Hate to see you finally depart. Hope you come back and visit us.
I'm tickled for you for your retirement. You and your wife have come a long way, and now you two can be closer. You don't have to be depended on by the company. So congratulations, senior. Take care.
I really hate for this retirement day to happen, but Bruce, I wish you the very best in your retirement and this next chapter. And you can always call me with any detective work you might have, and I will always call you with my "I'm so full" message. Thanks, love ya.
Senior, I hope you have a good retirement. It's been a pleasure working with you. I'll miss you coming into work and giving me all kinds of static and pushing me into a pan of chicken once before. That's a different story for another time. Anyhow, I'm sure I'll see you around, and don't be a stranger.
I just want to wish you well. You've taught me a lot, and you have a zest for life in so many different aspects. And I still want to hear what the stories are, and I can't wait to see what they are. You're going to always have an impact, and I just can't wait to be a part of that and hear more about that. So thank you, Bruce.
Dad, you made it a long time here at Cambridge. Very proud of you. Thanks for everything that you've done and all the wisdom that you instilled on me. I know you're looking forward to taking your little dog Fluffy with you on your trips with my mom. I know how much you guys love to travel, but congratulations, happy retirement. I love you, and enjoy your retirement.
This guy right here has been with this company serving with his whole heart for how many years? 50 years. 50 years.